It has been called the most sophisticated listening device in history, not because it was complex, but because it was invisible. It had no batteries. It had no wires. It had no transmitter. And for 7 years, it hung on the wall of the American ambassador's office in Moscow, right above his head. The CIA didn't find it. The FBI couldn't detect it. In fact, the Americans put it there themselves. This is the story of the thing, the wooden Trojan horse, that humiliated US intelligence, and proved that sometimes the simplest technology is the most dangerous. August 4, 1945. The Second World War was ending. The alliance between the USA and the Soviet Union was still holding, but the cracks were showing. In Moscow, the US ambassador, W. Lev Theremin, was invited to a ceremony at the Artek Young Pioneer Camp. It was a gesture of friendship. A group of Soviet schoolchildren presented the ambassador with a magnificent gift, a hand-carved replica of the Great Seal of the United States. It was made of rare sandalwood, starwood, and boxwood. It was beautiful, and, according to the US security team that swept it, it was innocent. Theremin was so impressed that he hung it in the most sensitive place possible, his private study at the Spaso House, right behind his desk. For the next 7 years, under 4 different ambassadors, every secret conversation, every strategy for the Cold War, every private doubt was spoken directly into the ear of that wooden eagle. But the children didn't build the device inside. That was the work of a genius prisoner. Lev Theremin is famous today for inventing the electronic instrument that bears his name, the Theremin. But in the 1940s, he was a prisoner in a Sharashka secret KGB laboratory. Theremin was ordered to create a bug that couldn't be detected. His solution was brilliant physics. He created a passive cavity resonator. Here is how it worked. The device inside the seal was tiny. Just a small antenna and a thin metal membrane. No battery. No power source. It lay dormant, essentially a piece of dead metal. But when Soviet operatives parked a van outside the embassy and aimed a specific radio frequency at the office, the device woke up. The sound waves from the ambassador's voice vibrated the membrane, which modulated the radio signal bouncing back. It was a microphone that only existed when the Soviets wanted it to. 4 years, American technicians swept the office. They used nonlinear junction detectors. They checked for batteries. They checked for wires. They found nothing because there was nothing to find. It was discovered by accident. In 1952, a British radio operator at the embassy heard American voices on a Soviet radio channel. He realized the signal was coming from inside the ambassador's office. The new ambassador, George Kennan, ordered a total sweep. When they took the Great Seal off the wall and cracked it open, they didn't find a complex machine. They found a pencil-thin metal rod and a canister. It was so simple, the American engineers were baffled. They called it simply, the thing. The US government kept the discovery secret for 8 years. They wanted to study the technology, but in 1960, the silence ended. The Soviets had just shot down an American U-2 spy plane and were accusing the US of espionage. At the United Nations, American Ambassador Henry Cabot Lodge Jr. decided to counterattack. On live television, he unveiled the Great Seal. He showed the world the hollowed-out center and the Soviet device. He proved that the spy game went both ways. The Soviets denied it, of course, but the legacy of the thing is all around us. Lev Theremin's invention was the grandfather of RFID technology, the same principle that allows you to tap your credit card or use an automated toll pass today. Started as a spy tool hanging on a wall in Moscow. Today, the original device sits in the NSA's Cryptologic Museum, a reminder that in the world of intelligence, the most dangerous threat isn't always the one you can hear. Sometimes, it's the gift you accept with a smile. This is Past Unmasked. Thanks for watching.